Some people don't damage your life because you wronged them. They damage your life because your kindness made you easy to use. Long before our time, the Stoics warned that not every threat walks into your life with anger or hostility. Some arrive with soft voices and open hands, slowly draining you under the disguise of gratitude. They take your time, your help, your heart, and then turn around and accuse you for not fixing the entire weight of their choices. These people don't want guidance. They want carriers. They want someone whose emotional strength they can live off, someone who shields them from the consequences they refuse to face. Epictetus once said, "If someone hands their mind to another, they cease to be free." That's the tragedy of trying to save the wrong person. You end up surrendering your own freedom while they stay exactly the same. The more you help, the more entitled they become. The more you hold them up, the heavier they get. And the moment you stop carrying them, they feel betrayed, not because you harmed them, but because you stopped allowing them to harm you. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not be carried away by their praise or blame. They see only the surface." He was pointing directly at the kind of people who will drain your soul while praising your generosity. Trying to save certain people is not kindness, it is self-sacrifice disguised as compassion. It's burying your peace under someone else's disordered life. And the most dangerous part? It doesn't happen instantly. It happens slowly, drip by drip, as you convince yourself you're doing the right thing. Today we're going to walk through the types of people who will quietly destroy you if you try to help them, even with the purest intentions. Even if you mean well. Even if your heart is clean. Even if you're the only one who truly tries to help. Because the wrong person does not ruin your life in a single, dramatic moment. They do it drop by drop, while you convince yourself you're doing the righteous thing. Now, let's begin. Number 1. The person who believes you owe them. Not all dangerous people show hostility. Some destroy your spirit through quiet entitlement. This person behaves as if your existence was designed to sponsor theirs. Your time belongs to them. Your effort belongs to them. Your patience, your emotional labor, your peace, all theirs by default. At first, they appear harmless. A little needy, maybe. A little dependent. But once you begin helping them, the tone shifts. Helping them once becomes your responsibility. Helping them twice becomes your duty. The day you say you're busy, suddenly you're selfish. In their mind, your kindness is not generosity, it is an obligation they assume you signed up for. Marcus Aurelius warned, "Do not expect gratitude from those who believe they are owed." The entitled person rewrites the relationship quietly. They don't say, "Thank you." They say, "Finally." And they never feel the need to reciprocate, because in their worldview, your sacrifices are nothing more than the bare minimum. Here's how they drain you, not through chaos or conflict, but through the constant pressure of expectation. You adjust your schedule to meet their needs. You lose sleep to make their life easier. You silence your own discomfort because you don't want to disappoint them. And slowly, you begin living with the weight of their demands on your shoulders. The most twisted part. No matter how much you help, you are always the villain in their narrative. If their life doesn't improve, it's your fault for not doing more. If you set a boundary, you changed. If you can't rescue them on command, you don't care. Think about people like Don King in Mike Tyson's life, someone who believed Tyson's success was his property. That's what entitlement does. It takes your effort, your gifts, your compassion, and transforms them into something the other person believes they deserve by default. Epictetus said, "Never give your soul to someone who claims it as their right." The only solution is to help those who value your help, not those who feel entitled to it. Otherwise, you will lose yourself trying to rescue someone who thinks your sacrifice is simply their due. Number 2, The chronic victim who rejects responsibility. There is no one more emotionally expensive than the person who clings to a victim identity. They're not suffering, they're performing it. Their problems never involve their own choices. Their failures are never their fault. Their life is a series of injustices targeted specifically at them. Every setback becomes a conspiracy. Every disappointment becomes proof that the world is unfair. And when you try to help them, you are pulled into the storm they create but never take responsibility for. The chronic victim has 3 predictable patterns. First, every problem is someone else's fault. They fail a class, the teacher was biased. A relationship ends, the other person was evil. They lose a job, someone sabotaged them. They're stressed, life is harder for them than anyone else. They never say, I need to improve. They say, life is out to get me. Second, they generate chaos through their own decisions, then demand sympathy for the consequences. They overspend recklessly and say life is financially unfair. They choose toxic people and say everyone betrays them. They procrastinate and claim they're overwhelmed. You give advice, and they dismiss it. You give warnings, and they ignore them. You give support, and they drain you. Seneca wrote, "A man is as miserable as he believes himself to be." For the chronic victim, misery is identity. Suffering is currency. Attention is the reward. They don't want solutions, they want an audience. Third, they repeat the same problems endlessly. You spend hours offering insight, strategies, wisdom, but next week, they're back with the same crisis, the same story, the same drama. Because the pain isn't the issue, accountability is. Try helping them and you'll see. If you comfort them, you're the only one who understands. If you advise them, you're judgmental. If you set boundaries, you're abandoning them. If you step away, you become the villain. Epictetus warned, a man is disturbed not by events, but by the opinion he has of them. The chronic victim's opinions are designed to keep them powerless, and you responsible. Helping them doesn't pull them out of their suffering. It pulls you into it. And once you're there, you'll spend your energy fixing problems they are committed to recreating. You can't save someone addicted to their own despair. Number 3. The jealous friend who wants you to lose. A jealous friend is more dangerous than an open enemy. An enemy attacks you. A jealous friend studies you. They smile with their mouth but compete with their spirit. They are allies only when you're beneath them. The second you begin rising, the mask slips. You try to motivate them, support them, share what you've learned. But they interpret your kindness as a threat. They don't see you as a friend, they see you as the person they must surpass. Every piece of advice feels like a reminder that they are behind. Every success you achieve feels like a personal insult. You'll notice subtle signs. They downplay your accomplishments. They tease your goals so you doubt them. They disappear during your victories. They only feel close to you when you're struggling. Seneca said, "He who envies others does not enjoy what he has." Jealousy corrupts. It blinds. It rots a person from the inside. Helping them doesn't inspire them, it threatens them. They will twist your support into an insult. They will turn your kindness into ammunition. A jealous friend will never admit you helped them. They'll take your ideas and pretend they invented them. They'll take your strategies and use them to compete with you. They'll take your encouragement and turn it into resentment. Look at Michael Jordan's career. How many teammates resisted learning from him simply because accepting his help meant accepting his superiority? They preferred mediocrity over humility. A jealous friend is a rival wearing the mask of companionship. They don't clap for you, they wait for you to stumble. They don't want to grow with you, they want to surpass you. Helping them won't heal them. Helping them fuels the resentment they already hold. If someone cannot celebrate you, they do not deserve proximity to you. Number 4. The person who only learns through disaster. Some people don't learn from guidance, mistakes, or wisdom. They only learn when destruction slams into their life so hard they can no longer deny reality. Until the consequences are unbearable, they continue making the same self-destructive choices. You warn them. You guide them patiently. You sit them down and outline exactly where their actions will lead. They nod. They promise to do better. And then they walk directly back into the same fire you tried to save them from. Their comfort zone is catastrophe. Their identity is built around chaos. They don't avoid pain, they repeat it because it's familiar. It's predictable. It's all they've ever known. Epictetus said, "Hardships show who we are." But for these individuals, hardships don't transform, they recycle. Your warnings are background noise to them. Your advice is nothing but a gentle interruption in the rhythm of their self-inflicted suffering. Every time you rescue them, you delay the one thing that could actually change them, the consequence. You've seen this pattern. You help them leave a toxic relationship, they go back. You help them manage finances, they overspend again. You help them build better habits, they return to the ones that ruin them. You provide a plan, they return to their chaos. They don't want salvation. They want relief, temporary, emotional relief, and they want you to supply it. Marcus Aurelius warned, "What stands in the way becomes the way." For these people, the obstacle isn't external, it's themselves. And if you stand between them and their next disaster, they'll resent you. You lose sleep trying to save them, but when the consequences finally hit, they say, "No one was ever there for me." They rewrite history to avoid accountability, and suddenly you're the villain for trying to protect them from their own behavior. Helping them becomes a trap. You absorb their pain. You carry their stress. You make their problems your responsibility. And in return, they continue walking the same path toward the same suffering. Stoicism teaches that each person must face the reality they create. If someone refuses wisdom, let the consequences teach them, because trying to save them only ensures you go down with them. Number 5. The emotional drain who turns your strength into dependence. Some people don't want guidance. They want a rescuer. They want an emotional generator they can plug into every time their life feels heavy. And the more you give, the more dependent they become. They don't call you to celebrate. They call you to collapse. Every conversation is a crisis. Every week is a tragedy. They say they just need support, but what they really need is someone to manage their emotions for them. At first, helping them feels compassionate. But gradually, you become their emergency hotline. Their therapist. Their emotional life support. They rely on you for stability, for motivation, for reassurance, for everything. They want comfort, not growth. Relief, not solutions. You give them the strength to stand, and they use it as a reason not to build their own. Epictetus warned, "The more we depend on others, the less free we are." These individuals outsource their emotional regulation to whoever is willing to hold them up. When you take one step back, just one, they panic. You say you're overwhelmed, they're offended. You say you need space, they spiral. You say you can't talk right now, they claim you abandoned them. They don't see your boundaries as protection. They see them as rejection. And helping them does not make them stronger, it makes them incapable of standing without you. They will drown slowly and cling to you tightly, not realizing they're pulling you under with them. Your well-being becomes optional. Your peace becomes disposable. Your needs become invisible. A person who depends entirely on your strength will eventually drain it. Not intentionally, but inevitably. Seneca said, "You must limit your help, so you do not become the one in need." That is the truth here. Emotional dependence will make you weaker while convincing you that you're the only thing keeping them alive. Number 6. The habitual liar who reshapes reality to avoid truth. Some individuals don't simply lie occasionally, lying becomes their oxygen. It becomes the lens through which they view the world, the tool they use to survive, and the weapon they rely on to control others. They live inside a web they created, and the moment you try to help them, you threaten the illusion they depend on. To a constant liar, truth is not guidance, it is danger. Every story they tell is modified. Every detail twisted. Every promise softened or exaggerated depending on what benefits their image. They lie to protect their ego, to manipulate outcomes, or to simply avoid facing themselves. And when you try to help them improve their life, they don't see you as a supporter. They see you as someone who might expose the cracks in their reality. Seneca said, "Truth is simple, falsehood is complex." A liar prefers complexity because the truth requires accountability, something they resist at all costs. Try correcting them, and suddenly they're defensive. Try confronting them, and suddenly you're the one being questioned. Try offering guidance, and your help becomes ammunition for their next manipulation. A colleague who takes credit for the work of others will twist your advice into a story about how they did everything themselves. A partner who lies about finances or whereabouts will gaslight you until you doubt your sanity. A family member who exaggerates or fabricates problems refuses clarity because clarity ruins the narrative that gets them sympathy. Marcus Aurelius warned, "The mind that avoids honesty will never know peace." And when you try to help a dishonest person, you inherit their chaos. You start replaying conversations. You second-guess your perception. You begin absorbing the confusion they intentionally create. Helping them is not just ineffective, it is self-destructive. Their lies won't stop because of your sincerity. Their patterns won't shift because of your patience. Their narrative won't suddenly become honest because of your effort. You cannot anchor someone who insists on living adrift. Epictetus wrote, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Constant liars believe they've mastered reality itself. Trying to guide them is like trying to light a candle in the middle of a storm. The flame extinguishes before it even has a chance. To protect your peace, you must recognize that truth cannot be gifted to someone determined to reject it. Number 7. The entitled person who treats your help as their right. Entitlement is rot disguised as confidence. It hides itself behind phrases like, "you should," "you owe me," or "you're supposed to." The entitled person doesn't ask, they expect. They don't appreciate, they demand. They don't value your sacrifices, they assume you were obligated to give them. Helping an entitled person is dangerous because they convert your generosity into a permanent expectation. The more you offer, the more they feel owed. Seneca once wrote, "He who receives a benefit without gratitude repays it with ingratitude." This is the essence of entitlement. You lend money, they never return it. You clear your schedule, they think you should have. You give advice, they argue and blame you when life goes wrong. Your boundaries become offensive. Your fatigue becomes disrespect. Your no becomes betrayal. The entitled person sees your life as an extension of theirs, your resources as a reservoir for their convenience. Think about the coworker who expects you to fix their workload every time. They ask for guidance, you give it, and when you finally say you're busy, they act wounded. Or the relative who believes your help is automatic simply because you share blood. When you decline, they respond with accusations rather than understanding. Marcus Aurelius said, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." The entitled person does the opposite, they receive with pride and demand more with certainty. Helping them leads to a slow erosion of your energy and clarity. Instead of witnessing growth, you witness dependency. Instead of appreciation, you receive resentment. Instead of partnership, you are assigned servitude. Epictetus cautioned, "If you wish to be loved, love wisely." Loving an entitled person unconditionally is not love, it is permission for them to drain you. Your role is not to reinforce someone's delusions of deservingness. Your duty is to guard your virtue, protect your peace, and ensure your compassion is not weaponized against you. Number 8. The person of temporary effort. Some individuals only try when someone is watching them. Their motivation is borrowed, not built. They initiate change for a week, maybe 2, but the moment discipline is required, they disappear into old habits. Their effort is not real effort. It is performance. They want progress without persistence. Results without routine. Growth without discomfort. And when you help them, your time becomes the fuel for their short bursts of enthusiasm. They follow your advice just long enough to feel slightly better, then abandon the plan the moment life demands real work. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be." B1. Temporary effort people waste time pretending. They mimic discipline instead of embodying it. You help them with productivity, they give up after 2 days. You help them with finances, they're back to reckless spending within a week. You help them with habits, they disappear until they need motivation again. They don't lack capability. They lack consistency. And they want you to compensate for that. Seneca said, "Most powerful is he who is master of himself." A person who cannot master even a few days of effort is not seeking mastery, they're seeking someone to drag them toward it. Helping them leads to cycles of frustration. You invest wisdom, they invest excuses. You invest energy, they invest temporary enthusiasm. You invest time, they invest inconsistency. And yet, every time their effort collapses, they return to you, not with accountability, but with complaints. You become their temporary engine, and they become your permanent drain. Epictetus warned that we should act with reason, not impulse. These individuals live in impulse. Your guidance cannot replace the internal discipline they refuse to build. A person who only tries when pushed will crumble the moment you step away. Number 9. The narcissist who reshapes your help into a threat. Narcissists are dangerous because they appear receptive when they need you but resentful when you try to guide them. Their world revolves around their ego, a fragile beast that feeds on praise and dies at the slightest hint of correction. They want admiration, not improvement. Obedience, not advice. Validation, not truth. When you offer help, they interpret it as criticism. If you give them guidance, they twist it into an insult. If you try to correct them, they take it as a personal attack. Seneca taught, "The one who thinks he knows everything, learns nothing." This is the narcissist's greatest flaw. You share a strategy, they claim they already knew it. You help them succeed, they act like they did it without you. You try to confront an issue, they reverse the blame onto you. Their ego cannot accept being guided. Their identity depends on being superior, even when they are failing. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Narcissists do the opposite, they're lenient with their flaws and ruthless with yours. Trying to help them drains you emotionally because everything becomes a battle. They rewrite conversations, twist your intentions, and manipulate the narrative until you question your sanity. You cannot help someone whose entire identity is built on avoiding accountability. Epictetus said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." The narcissist's judgment is permanently distorted, and trying to correct it will drain your peace. Number 10. The person whose chaos becomes your responsibility. Some individuals create storms and then search for someone to stand in the rain with them. Their life is a series of emergencies, many of which they cause themselves. They run from responsibility and attach themselves to whoever is willing to stabilize them. At first, helping them feels noble. Over time, it becomes exhausting. Eventually, it becomes dangerous. Their problems multiply because they never learn. Their emotions spill into your life because they never regulate. Their mistakes become yours to fix because they never take ownership. They mistake your compassion for duty. They interpret your support as obligation. And without noticing, you begin to live inside problems that aren't yours. Marcus Aurelius warned, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But these people try to make their chaos your internal world. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." These individuals turn their imagined catastrophes into your emotional burden. Epictetus said, "Do not seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do." Yet these individuals deny reality entirely, and expect you to deny it with them. Helping them is not supporting growth, it is enabling chaos. And chaos spreads. Their panic becomes your tension. Their irresponsibility becomes your workload. Their instability becomes your lifestyle. And when you finally step away, they call you heartless. They forget every sacrifice. They rewrite every memory so they can stay innocent in their own mind. The truth? You cannot build a peaceful life while babysitting someone else's storms. This brings us to the final message. Stoicism teaches discernment, knowing who to help and who to step back from. Not everyone wants healing. Not everyone wants accountability. Not everyone wants change. Helping the wrong person is a form of self-neglect. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make you better." And that is the key, help those who want to grow, not those who want to drain. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If someone's thoughts are rooted in jealousy, entitlement, deceit, or chaos, their color will stain your life if you carry them too closely. And Epictetus reminded us, you cannot teach a man what he thinks he already knows. Some people will never accept wisdom, even when you hand it to them with love. So choose wisely. Protect your peace. Offer help to those who value it. Withdraw from those who weaponize it. Your time, your mind, and your energy are too valuable to waste on those who refuse to grow. This is Stoic Quiet Strength, Power in Silence.